How to install a partition door. Difficulty level 2 hammers. A partition door is an excellent space saver, as it slides into the wall recess and the fitting totally inconspicuous. You will need a partition door kit, mounting kit, a 40mm thick straight-edged door under 50 kilograms in weight, rails and jambs for the partition, plasterboard, some hammer-in wall plugs, plasterboard screws, mastic adhesive, plasterboard joining tape, and some plasterboard filler. You will need a plumb line, a spirit level, a chalk line, a mason's set square, a measuring tape, a pencil, a hammer drill, a cordless drill, hammer, a crimping tool, an extruder gun, a spanner, a routing tool, and a plastering trowel. This type of sliding retractable door comes in several sizes, with 1 or 2 doors. The door frame consists of a chassis into which the door slides when open, and the frame itself. It all fits into a partition of 72 or 100 mm wide, depending on the model. Depending on the model, the chassis may come as a pre-assembled frame, into which you have to fit the components, paying close attention to the manufacturer's instructions. Regardless of the model, you need to fix spacer bars temporarily between the jamb and the chassis to keep the jamb in position. The best approach is to install the partition at the same time as the partition door. Select the rails and the door jambs which go with the door chassis. Mark the position of the partition on the ceiling, the ground, and the adjacent walls. Use one of the door uprights to mark the adjacent walls. Screw the rails to the ceiling with a special ceiling plug, and then decide the best position for the partition door. Screw the rails to the ground every 60 centimeters. If there is underfloor heating, you will need to use mastic adhesive. Position an upright at the side of the chassis. A horizontal rail will strengthen the top. Finish the unit with 2 upright jambs placed back to back. Screw them together, then crimp them to the rail. With certain models, you have to install self-adhesive brush seals or anti-dust brushes in the rail of the door frame. With models with a reinforced chassis, you can keep the space between the walls by using polystyrene blocks when you fix the plasterboard into the partition. The method of fixing the plasterboard varies from model to model, depending on the nature of the chassis which contains the partition door. In most cases, you need to apply mastic adhesive along the chassis cross members and finish by screwing it into the metal framework. Once the boards are in place, remove the polystyrene blocks with a spacer bar inside the door unit. Install the rollers inside the sliding rail at the top, making sure they face the right way, that is, towards the outside of the chassis. Fit the bottom door guide into the slot at the base of the lower door rail. If you buy the door separately, make sure it has a slot to accept the slider guide in its base. You could also install a hook lock. There again, you could cut a groove to inset the door on its edge. There are 2 mounting brackets in 1 or 2 parts which must be screwed to the top of the door. This allows you to hang the door just below the rollers. Insert the slot in the bottom of the door into the guide. Then raise the door to attach it to the roller heads. Check the door is level, then tighten with a spanner initially to 13 mm. Leave a 10 mm gap under the door and check that it slides freely. Screw the stop and the roller into the correct pilot holes in the slider rail. A dressing kit adds a stylish finishing touch to the frame. Install the jambs according to the manufacturer's instructions. Use silicone glue so that it may be dismantled in future. Check the door once more before fixing the dressing kit cross members. Fitting a door like this frees up around 1 square meter of ground space as there is no barrier when the door is pushed open.